I'll never forget the first time I was ever in HQ at an all employee meeting. And I saw Robert speak and I hear him go, "Hello, Compass." And just like the energy in the room, it was the most captivating experience I ever had in my life at that point. I was like, wow, this is where I needed to be.
Hello, Compass.
Yeah.
Thank you so
how's it
much
going,
for
Siraj?
joining.
How are you?
Hey, Amit. How's it going? It's great to see you both.
Likewise, I've been doing real estate 17 years, and I have three real estate heroes. I have Chris Smith from Curator, Jimmy Mackin. They've taught me marketing, and you, Robert. I always tell people, I get so many calls from people asking me about how it is to work for Compass. And so I've been doing this about a little bit over 3 years at Compass. And I tell them that Compass makes you feel like you're LeBron James when you're that high school player on the bench. So thank you so much for that.
That's awesome. Look, I love everything you said, except you don't work for Compass. Compass works for you. That's important philosophical thing for me. Yeah.
I would say this from my experience is, you work somewhere and there's like Disney magic here. When kids go to Disney and you see their eyes light up and stuff like that, that's, Robert, what it's like no matter where you go in the country for an agent at Compass. And there's so many amazing things here, but how this company has been built on this vision. And still, like, one of my favorite Compass superheroes is your mom, right? And I adore your mom, and it's that energy. But wherever you go, like, I could never figure this out, right? If someone asks you, like, you've worked there as an employee, you work with all Compass people, what is like the most amazing thing? It's 20,000+ people of culture, right? Like you go places, there legitimately is a difference in an agent you find at Compass and an agent you find at any other brokerage. They're all just good people, right? So I test. It's amazing what you built for this entire industry, because every day you talk to people and they talk about not like how great like all the things are at Compass, but like, I just want to share this test with you. How many people have said Compass has changed their entire life? Friendships, relationships, their values, the way they show up places, the way they do their business. Agents that had the best year of their life ever, that done it in 6 months this year. It's incredible.
It's awesome.
So we have 7 questions that we're going to ask you. We're going to alternate, and hopefully you enjoy the questions. So the first thing is, what is a fun fact about you that most people would be surprised to hear?
That my favorite pastime, other than being with my wife and kids, is, and we usually do it with the kids and wife, are watching movies. Because like, I'm a huge dreamer. And so watching a movie, like, you're literally in the dream. And I'm a big believer that everything is bad is good and everything good is bad. Because if you think that way, then you don't stress out as much. And every great movie, in order to get to there, they had to go there, right? Now, so it puts it all in great context. Yeah, so I love movies.
Is there a favorite one that you've seen recently?
Recently?
Or anytime?
Look, some of the favorite like motivational ones are like Pursuit of Happiness. Of course, different variations of Rocky. I think the best sports speech of all time, ESPN actually said this as well, was Any Given Sunday speech, Al Pacino, Piece by Inches. Where it basically says it's a game of inches. Every inch matters. And my philosophy is every interaction is an opportunity, right? So there's a lot of really good stuff there. But like, if I had to say like one, I mean, it's old school, but Good Will Hunting is just like, that was just awesome. And it's even more awesome that it's created by 2 like 20-year-olds. Like, it was a great movie.
So being a dreamer, right? And you get into this industry, and real estate agents, like you always talk about, have big dreams when they get here. Freedom, potential, being an entrepreneur. Based on everything you've seen, what's the best advice that you want to give someone that's like something simple and actionable, just getting into this, because there's a whole sea of things to think about?
Look, it's the same advice I would give literally anybody, and it's hard advice to follow. I don't think it's as hard for agents as other groups of professionals, but the greatest advantage you have in life is the speed at which you learn. And so you have to learn fast. How do you learn fast? You look to your left and you look to your right, and what are the best people and companies and competitors doing? And do that. That's really it. And so if I was a new agent, I'd be saying, who are the best agents in my market? And you got to categorize, right? Like, are you the individual agents? Or are they teams? Are they luxury? Or are they like what's their background relative to who you are? But then I would try to adopt those practices. A, B, like, how do you find those people and how can you get them to mentor you? How can you like get them to let you, show their open houses? How can you get them to, let you be on their team if you want to learn that way? How do you get more attention from your sales manager to coach you than anyone else? But it's learn. Just make sure at the end of the year, don't measure yourself by how many transactions you did. Measure yourself by how much you learned to be great for the future.
I love that. It's very hard not to like start taking notes and put my head down.
So my next question, you work and see a lot of agents, and as the industry continues evolving, what do you see being the biggest difference between those who are just in business and those who are really succeeding?
What's the difference between people that are a business versus people
Just
that
like they're just like doing real estate and people that are succeeding, like an average agent compared to someone that's like a superstar.
I think what he's saying, Robert, is like someone who's just like existing in the business versus an entrepreneur that's like building and scaling.
Yeah. I mean, I think then you're in the word entrepreneur, all the answers there. It's like, how much do you try? Right? Like, it's how much are you a yes versus a no? How much are you, I'm going to give it a shot versus a not? How much are you going to market more versus, I do enough? How much are you going to, reach out to more clients versus say, I have enough clients, they just come to me, right? It could go on and on and on. But the best agents, like I know who they are. First, let me walk through really with their pictures in my mind. One is passion. They're passionate people, and they're passionate about their clients and their work. They love it to the point it's an addiction. Which I imagine the Steve Jobs is, the Oprah Winfrey's. I imagine there are a lot of people that are like that. But the passion toward their job and their clients, and making their client, creating success for their clients. Two would be, again, like the first thing I mentioned, which is they're always trying to get better. They're always trying to do more. Like they don't rest on their laurels. Every one of them, like, it's so crazy. The best agents are like, they're so nervous on Jan 1, like I'm starting at zero. Like, I have to build everything back up from nothing again. Like they have that anxiety in their mind that they need to go further. Then I would say, hard, consistent work. It's just like again and again and again and again and again, the same thing again and again. And when roadblocks hit them, they see them as opportunities. I guess that would be number 4 or 5. They protect their energy. I promise you this, the agents that perform the least versus the ones that go up, if you really had to categorize it, it's people that protect their energy and move it forward. There's people that have like these things make them really like retract and go down. You got to protect your energy.
I see a lot of this.
It sounds like you, Robert.
Yeah, and I also add people that have really created a sphere of influence, because a repeat referral business, basically, where anyone that they have a lot of people that will want to work with them again or refer their friends to them. That's definitely it. Yeah.
A lot of this, what's interesting, guys, is so much of this is the way that they think through things, right?
Mindset is key. There's a quote I put up in the last couple of weeks. It says, he or she who believes they can and he or she who believes they cannot are both right. Because if you say I can't, you're not going to. If you say I can, you may get bumped along the road, but you can. Imagine if I said, like, I can't expand Compass internationally. I can't hire a 1,000 person technology team that we have right now. I can't this, I can't that, then it would have happened. But there's something about being like delusionally optimistic, Where you shoot
Delusionally optimistic.
man on the moon. Oh,
Oh,
but
so
that's
this
actually
is-
another thing. A lot of these agents, I'll say the top agents, say this is gonna be my best year ever. And it doesn't really, they don't usually get there, but their numbers are like kind of crazy. And I'm like, yeah, go do it. Yeah, I know you're gonna do it. But it doesn't really matter. Sometimes they get it, but they're like really optimistic to go for it. They set big targets, big goals.
Robert, I think that's like a new great quote. Be delusionally optimistic as an entrepreneur.
Hey.
So there's a quick digression. There's 1,000 people on the engineering team now.
Yep, 1,000 people. So 2 years ago, it was around 150. We now have 1,000. I think one of the best things that we as a company have been able to deliver is a 1,000 person technology to be able to afford that. Yeah, to be able to a 1,000 person team. I give you my commitment and my word that this time next year, 95+% of our agents are going to say, everything that I need in software is here. Everything. It's all here. Team functionality. Come on, that'll be done well before next year. Business tracker, search, and consumer search, mobile, CMA, all different versions of CMA. Every time some type of marketing, digital marketing, customer marketing, and we're going to open up the platform to let more of your external providers work through it. So why should just our designers help you in our marketing center? We're opening up. So if you have a designer outside, they're going to be able to help you. If you have a transaction coordinator outside, they're going to be able to do it in Compass. We're going to really open up. It's going to be an incredible year. The next 12 months, I tell you, you'll remember I said this 12 months from now, or at least at a certain point through the next 12 months, you're going to feel and see a company transform for you.
Nice.
Awesome.
Robert, one of the things that I tell sellers, they'll say like, why should I hire Compass? And, besides all the other things we say, I say, do you use your phone a lot? And they're like, yeah, I use it all the time. I say, do me a favor, Google mobile engineer and whatever brokerage you're thinking about using, and do the same thing for Compass. If you do Compass, you have pages and pages of that. If you do any other broker, there's nothing at all. It's pretty powerful.
That's so smart.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I love that. Cool. Yeah, just try that. Okay. What's next?
It's the next question is Compass, they're all the customers, right? So it's like, what's the best advice here for building your personal brand within Compass with all the tools that we have available to them through Marketing Center, the social assets?
It's two things, like no CRM opportunity and no Marketing Center opportunity to be left behind. I mean, I'll say, if I was an agent, man, there'd be nothing in CRM that I would not do. It'd be repeat and referral. I know it would take me like a month to really figure it all out. Things would be happening more and more. I may hire a virtual assistant or assistant just to do it all for me. By that'd be high ROI. They only have to get like 1 or 2 more clients because of the years of work to pay for what I would pay them, right? And so there would be nothing in CRM. Like no one would say, hey, do you do this in CRM? I'm like, of course they do. Yeah, everything. And same in Marketing Center. And so, yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay.
But more broadly though, I think for your customer, I think you have to find outside of those two things, what are the ways to be many people at the same time? Well, those are all obvious, right? The social media, digital newsletters, but then what are the ways to make very special one-on-one communication? So we have Gift Center, right? I've been doing gifts all the time because all the return on investment is always there. But also handwritten notes, happy 1-year anniversary. Every client would get a gift in their happy 1-year anniversary. Handwritten, all kinds of very personal things. I'd be watching my clients. Actually, I'd be paying a virtual assistant to watch my clients and see when they have special moments in their lives. Oh, I saw your kid graduated in high school. Congratulations. Handwritten note.
I just ordered a wax stamp because of you. The handwritten notes with the wax stamps.
I did that.
Yeah, I learned that. Listen, one thing is I'm a very avid listener. I've listened to everything you and Rory always tells me, he goes, how did you learn all that? I said, by watching you and paying attention.
When I was just 2000, 2005 when I started doing it. And I realized how much people love handwritten notes, and emails are spam. And someone told me to go buy some Cranes cards. So I have Cranes cards, Robert Reffkin. People really liked it. Then I was like, look, I'm gonna do a Thanksgiving one. Thanksgiving one, Cranes. I went in, selected it. It was brown, had like a turkey or something. Then I said, I'm gonna do a holiday one. By the way, I had my Jewish friends, and then I had my Christian friends. I had two different ones. And so I really like try to make it as specific as possible. But I got a wax stamp, and I had thousands of people in my contest. There were 6,000 people at the time. And I actually got one of my mentees to come with me to my house for days to lick it. I'd write the handwritten note, try to personalize it. And on many, many weekends, back to back to back. And then I had an R and I stamp it and I had the candle. The saddest thing is I found out like a week after that, like because there's so much time, that there's something called a wax gun. Like where you don't need a candle and like wax. You just put it in there. You just put the wax in. And so I never did the candle again. You get a wax gun, trust me.
Well,
amazing.
just to be mindful of your time, if I could ask you one last thing, and it's sort of interesting, what are you most excited about?
Yeah, look, I give you certainty we are in the best place we have ever been. I'll define it as this. There's no point in the last 8.5 years I would rather be in than now, right? Which by definition means we're the best place we've ever been. We have a 1,000 person technology team, right? Our chief product officer was CEO of Amazon Prime Video and launched Alexa at Amazon. We hired the head of AI from Zillow. We hired the CTO of AI from Microsoft. Before that was CTO of consumer at Amazon. We have more revenue than we've ever had. We have more markets than we've ever been in. We have a higher agent happiness score than we've ever had. Our agents are growing their business faster than they've ever grown. Our agents grew their business 39% on average, but on a transaction basis, excluding price. With price, it would have been more. 39% when the market grew at 14% year over year. We have a better path to profitability than we've ever had, and are investing more and more in products and services for agents than we've ever had. So like I'm incredibly excited about that. And I think specifically the thing that I'm most excited by is what I told you earlier, that this time next year, when I walk the halls of Compass and I see you, 95% of people, and I say like, hey, does the technology work? Do you have everything you need? 90% of people say, oh, of course, there's everything I need. It's all here, it all works. And I'll give you one little tidbit to show you my commitment to you. So let's go in here.